Do you ever feel like your personality underwent a quiet fundamental shift after a difficult season? It isn't just a change in your mood, it's a physical transformation deep within your skull. You might be navigating a normal Tuesday when a wave of detachment hits, making the world look like a blurry movie, or perhaps your pulse spikes over a minor inconvenience, leaving you frustrated and confused. If you recognize these patterns, please understand that you aren't broken or failing at life. You are witnessing your biological defense systems remaining on high alert, still trying to shield you from a storm that has already passed. Here at Looks Fine Inside, we believe that understanding the biology of survival is the first step toward reclaiming your peace. When trauma strikes, our internal chemistry pivots. Systems designed for emergency response get locked in the on position, altering our thoughts, our reactions, and our very perspective on the world. Today, we are diving into the way trauma reshapes the human brain and the incredible ways we can guide it back to health. Physical changes in the brain are a hallmark of the survival experience. To visualize this, think of your brain as a massive, high-tech distribution center. It has a command center, a security department, and a sophisticated filing system. The command center is your prefrontal cortex. This is the seat of logic, where you weigh options, solve puzzles, and talk yourself down from a ledge. Then you have the amygdala, which acts as the building's sensitive alarm system. This almond-sized node is constantly scanning for threats, ready to hit the sirens. Finally, the hippocampus serves as the filing room, organizing your life's events into a coherent timeline with proper context. The complication arises when trauma enters the chat. Suddenly, that alarm system, the amygdala, becomes hypersensitive, screaming at a level 10 over a level 1 problem. This keeps you in a state of high alert anxiety, even in total safety. Simultaneously, the command center in the front of your brain loses power. It becomes difficult to regulate your temper or focus on tasks and in moments of high stress, the logic center might go completely dark. This is why you can't just think clearly when you're triggered. Furthermore, trauma can actually cause the filing room, the hippocampus, to shrink. This explains those frustrating gaps in your memory or why certain smells or sounds feel like they are happening right now rather than being a memory from years ago. You might also experience a sense of being a ghost in your own life, a phenomenon known as dissociation. This is a survival-based disconnect where your mind, identity, and senses stop talking to each other. You might feel like you're hovering above your body, or that the people around you are actors on a set. Sometimes the brain just pulls the plug on feelings entirely, leaving you in a flat, numb void. Think of it as a surge protector. When the emotional voltage gets too high, the brain trips the breaker, so the whole system doesn't melt down. While it's a brilliant short-term shield, staying in this state makes you feel like a stranger to yourself and those you love. It's a heavy burden. But as we explore these topics on Looks Fine Inside, remember that these are reactions, not permanent defects. This cycle often creates a trauma loop. Your nervous system stops checking the calendar and starts living in a permanent state of fight, flight, or freeze. Life begins to feel like a repetitive, painful echo where the same reactions and relationship dynamics keep resurfacing. A sudden noise or a specific tone of voice can catapult you back into a panic that doesn't fit the present moment. This happens because the stress response never reached its natural conclusion. The energy stayed bottled up. Your brain starts taking shortcuts to safety, seeing danger in every shadow while avoiding these triggers feels like a relief. In the moment, it actually reinforces the walls of the cage. leaving you exhausted and on edge. However, the most vital truth is that your story doesn't end in survival mode. The human brain possesses neuroplasticity, the literal ability to reshape and rebuild itself. Healing isn't an overnight switch, it requires patience, community, and specific practices to calm the nervous system, but the path is open to you. Let's look at the evidence-based methods for rewiring a traumatized brain. First, consider the power of grounding. When you feel yourself drifting away into dissociation, grounding acts as an anchor. It's the simple act of noticing the weight of your body in a chair or the scent of the air. You can try the sensory countdown right now. Identify 5 things you can see, 4 you can touch, 3 you can hear, 2 you can smell, and 1 you can taste. This tells your amygdala that you are physically present and safe in this exact second. Second, movement serves as a direct language for the brain. Exercise isn't just for your muscles, it's a chemical rebalancing act for your mind. Physical activity can actually help the hippocampus regain its volume and lower stress hormones. It doesn't require a marathon. A simple stretch, a walk around the block, or a living room dance session can signal to your nervous system that it is safe to move freely again. Somatic practices and yoga are especially potent because they target the tension stored in your tissues, teaching your body that the threat has vanished. Third, healing is a social process because trauma often involves a breach of trust. Finding a safe harbor in healthy relationships is transformative when you find people who offer empathy without judgment. Your brain's trust circuits begin to repair themselves. Every safe interaction is a brick in a new foundation. Fourth, don't underestimate the art's creative expression allows you to speak when words are insufficient, whether it's painting, sculpting, or making music. Externalizing your internal world helps process stuck emotions and provides a sense of agency over your narrative. Finally, professional intervention is a powerful tool. Specialized approaches like EMDR, somatic experiencing, and parts work therapies are engineered to help the brain file away old traumas correctly, even if formal therapy feels out of reach. Leaning into educational resources and supportive communities can be your starting point. Your brain was smart enough to help you survive. It is also capable of learning how to thrive. What is one tiny thing you can do this afternoon to show your body you are safe? If this message hit home, we'd love to see you in the comments. Just type "I'm here" and share one small goal you have for today. Remember to like and subscribe to Looks Fine Inside for more deep dives into the journey of healing. Thank you for being part of this community.